All right, let's just jump right in. Today, we're going to tackle a story that is, and I mean this, absolutely monumental. It's a story about faith, yeah, but also rebellion and change so radical it completely redrew the map of Europe, and really how millions of people fought. We're talking, of course, about Martin Luther and the Reformation Movement.
And look, that is not an exaggeration at all. We're talking about one guy whose ideas basically became this fault line that cracked open everything. Religion, politics, culture, the aftershocks. Oh yeah, we're still feeling them today. It's a huge, incredibly complex, and just fascinating story. But with a story this big, where do you even begin? Well, I think to really get a grip on it, we gotta start with the absolute basics. And by basics, I mean the words themselves, right here in the title. Let's break it down, because this is going to set the stage for everything else. So first up, we've got a name, Martin Luther. Simple enough, right? A proper noun. It tells us right away that this whole thing centers on a specific person. Then there's the word reformation. I mean, the word itself kind of gives it away. It's about reforming something, changing an institution or a practice. So, okay, we have a person who's tied to some kind of major change.
And finally, movement. This one's important. It tells us Luther wasn't just some guy shouting into the void. Nope, this was a group effort. People working together for a shared goal. So let's put it all together. We've got a person, Martin Luther, who was a key part of a larger group trying to make a big, big change. Okay, makes sense so far. Now you're probably wondering, what incredible historical text are we pulling from for this? What ancient manuscript or deeply researched book is giving us these foundational facts for such a world-changing story? This is it. Our entire source for today's explainer is the title, Martin Luther and Reformation Movement. That's it. That is the beginning, middle, and end of what we have to work with. No joke. And that's what brings us to the real lesson today. See, the most important part of this whole thing isn't let's be generous and call it a source, what our source tells us. It's about all the massive, gaping holes it leaves out. It's the story behind the words that really matters here. I mean, look at this. On one side, you have the sum total of what we know from our source. Yeah, there was a guy named Martin Luther. He was part of a Reformation, and it was a movement. True, I guess, but so what? And then on the other side, you've got this ocean of things we don't know. When did it happen? Where? Why was it even needed? How did it all go down? What happened after? Our source gives us absolutely nothing. Total silence. Think about it. Our source fails the most basic questions you could possibly ask. Who even was this Martin Luther guy beyond just his name? A baker? A king? And what exactly was being reformed? The Postal Service? The Catholic Church? A huge difference, right? When did this all happen? Was it the 1500s or last Tuesday? Where? In Germany? In Brazil? And the big one, the most important question of all, why? Why did this happen? Without that context, the words they're just noise. They're almost meaningless.
And that right there, that's the actual point. This was never really about the Protestant Reformation. This is an explainer on how we process information itself. It's about critical thinking. It's about the massive importance of questioning your sources before you ever accept what they're telling you. So, where does that leave us? How do we wrap this all up into the final, most important question? How do we take this little exercise and actually use it? Here's the idea I want you to walk away with. A title is a promise. The source is the proof. Just think about that. Any headline, any title you see, it's making a promise to you. It's promising a story, an explanation, some facts. But that promise is completely worthless without the proof. And the proof, that's the source. It's the data, the research, the evidence. Without the source, all you've really got is an empty promise. So I'm going to leave you with this. The next time you're scrolling, the next time a bold headline or a really catchy title catches your eye, I just want you to pause. Just for a second. Ask yourself, okay, what's the promise here? And then ask the much more important question. What's the story it isn't telling me? Because honestly, looking for what's missing, that's usually the first real step to finding the truth.